What's up, everybody? You can see that we're in a different area because I could not get a good enough reception for my cell phone to stream. So I had to drive out into town, and then it turns out that you have to have a certain amount of subscribers to be able to live stream from your cell phone. So then I quickly grabbed my webcam and laptop and drove out into my little town of Silverdale, and now sitting in a grocery store parking lot to do this. So, why are you all here today? Really because of this flyer. I actually finally got them printed. Let's see here. You can see them. There we go. So I'll be handing those out here very soon, which I can't wait to do. Anyways, I wanted to go over some of the questions so that way we had something redeemable from this video before I go back home and go crazy or something like that. Anyways, so let's talk about how do I decide if I should open a business? That's a really important thing to try and figure out, and it's really a conversation much longer than an hour or any amount of time that I'm going to put into this today. My national car event starts today, so it's crazy that I even came out here to do this. Anyways, but my word's my word. I'm here to do this. Let's do it. So how do I decide if I should open a business? It's a tough question. It's a question that I've been asking myself a lot over the last forever, really. Should I keep running these businesses or, mostly keep is the question after you finally open one, and then going from there. There's a lot of things that I think you really need to consider, and it's something that I've even struggled with myself. One of the things being, do you really know the difference between want and would like? A lot of times I find myself saying, "Oh, I want that." When in reality, what I'm saying is, I like that. And I think it's important that we pay attention to the conversation inside our head. I think is the way I'll word that. We, when it comes to business, and I even see it with myself, up until closing my last business, Voice and Media, which I just finally said, 2021, I'm done. And it was pretty much dead before that. Anyways, it was, now I have this new one that I'm trying to launch. Anyways, one of the things I realized is that if you're halfway in, halfway out, you can't run a business, is what I'm basically saying with Voice and Media. I was at the point of where I just couldn't do it anymore. I needed a break. I was burned out. I only took 1 week of vacation out of 12 years, which isn't healthy. And I started really looking at my life choices this time in regards to opening something. And I really had to figure out what was propelling me, because in my last business, money was what was most important to me. And it's not the right way to go. And the reason why I say this is money is important. That's why we have a business. Survival, but there's, the other things. You want the fulfillment. If you're going to invest this type of energy into something, you want the fulfillment to go with it, which is absolutely important. After a certain point, sometimes it's what keeps you going. Just having remembered, hey, I started this because I love it, when the times are getting tough, like right now is a really good time to explain people that, the economy is getting more and more tough. People are being forced to pivot. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there asking questions of, all right, am I making the right choice? Is it time for me to call quits? And if they do, it's totally fine. That's, that's just the circle of life. This is going to be technically my third business. Well, no, not technically. This is going to be my third major endeavor, one that I've actually put forth a lot of effort into, because I think people need this. I think it's going to become more apparent that people need help. And while there's a lot of jobs that are hiring, I think people are going to find that the jobs don't adjust their wages fast enough to match inflation. And the only way to be able to be flexible enough is to own your own business. And, having had done all that volunteer work for all that business coaching through the county, was it? We figure about 400 businesses my friend and I helped over 6 years. She focused on other parts of business, and I focused on other parts, marketing and all that stuff, which arguably I could have done better, which also will be a video at some point. But most importantly, to answer the question on this one, how do I decide? Are you not making enough money doing what you're doing now? Can you keep your job? You should not, and this is really answering that fourth one there. Should I still work for my current job career while building my business? I feel like it goes hand in hand. But now that I'm saying it, that's my goal with this whole YouTube thing. Streaming this is creating a platform for dialogue. Not necessarily on YouTube because I plan on, anyways. But that is, should I still work on my job or my career? That's really up to you. Do you think that you can float starting a business without any knowledge? Or maybe you do have enough knowledge, a little bit of knowledge to get you going. And there's just so many things you have to weigh. I have not had immense success as a business owner. In comparison to a lot of Americans. In comparison to a third world country, I've done exceptionally well. So as long as I think about it that way, if I was living in any other country but here, I would have lived like a millionaire. Here, not so much. That's just the reality of America. Anyways, how do I decide if I should open a business for the third, fourth time asking this? There's a feeling, there's a gut feeling. There's a feeling inside of you where you just have to say, it's time. I don't want to work for the man no more. I don't want to work for the state. I did make a push early in November of last year, October, November, to provide essentially this service to state employees and DoD employees who are looking at this job because of the mandates. And that's really what pushed this. My compassionate nature is the reason why this is happening. Again, why I'm doing these flyers and why these are going to be hung out everywhere as much as I can. There's another question that needs to go with this, and it is, am I in the right state to start a business? Which is something I think you guys should really think about. When the lockdowns happened, and this is something you got to keep in mind. This will probably change who you vote for. The governor of Washington effectively destroyed my business and destroyed the vast majority of my clients' businesses. And that's probably, that's not 100% the reason why the business closed, but it was the final straw of, wow, I'm not really happy with this. Things aren't going so well. All my clients have to close their stores because some governor. Anyways, I'm not trying to make this about bashing him or anything, but it's almost 900 days. He still has emergency powers. You really got to keep in mind where you're going to start a business, and I think really the best place to go with this is, I don't think Washington State is a good place to open business. I know. And you could base that just solely off of how they handled the lockdowns. That's my opinion. So now that that's out there and we don't have to talk about that again unless you ask me, don't do business in Washington State. I strongly recommend looking at a state like Florida. The reason why, their small business development centers there are amazing. They have tons of programs that will help you get your business going. If you're in a service providing some sort of education or something like that, even if you're in marketing or whatever, Florida has programs where you can teach a business how to do something, and it's 100% rebate through the state for that client of yours. So I charge you 10 grand, you get reimbursed by the state for 10 grand. We both make, you get your money back, you learn stuff, I get paid for my time and energy. Everything's amazing. That's something to consider. There's a, and just because a state is Democrat or Republican does not mean it's going to be good or bad for business. You really got to look at the policies that they pass. Now, there are trends. You're looking at, I don't think I could ever open a business in California, but if I had enough FU money, I would, because I like I like the geography of Southern California. But here's the thing, and this is part of the reason why I'm also doing this, is we got to pay attention to really what's going on out in the world. And, America's pretty good. It's had a really good run, but there's a lot of problems going on right now. China, India, or China and Russia no longer using SWIFT. I think India is no longer going to use it, or is jumping on that whole thing. I forget the name of their program. And now we just had them announce a couple days ago that the reserve currency, they're using a different reserve currency than what the United States has done for a long time. The United States has been guilty of just strong-arming everybody into accepting the fact that, and we didn't have to do it quite so forcefully all the time. Anyways, I think that we're going to see the United States change its position in the world stage. I think it's important that you look everywhere as a possibility to start a business. A lot of people start businesses in Singapore. Why is that? I can tell you what I've learned about it, but why have people looked at starting business in Singapore? Why Puerto Rico? I don't know. To me, it sounds like Singapore is a better place. But who knows? And the other thing I'm very cognizant of is the fact that we don't all have a choice to go to a different place. I'm here in Washington State. I don't want to be here anymore. Which pains me because I feel like this is the most beautiful place in the country. I've not been in the Northeast, but they don't have mountains like we do, so it doesn't matter. Right, so let's see if anybody has actually logged on since I've been talking forever. No? Okay. Anyways, let's see what we're doing here. We're doing okay. Alright. So back to this. I suppose in conclusion, I think everybody should be a business owner because then it allows you to really dictate how you want your life to be. You're not at the whims of some union, which if you are... Here's another thing, too. You really got... Your perception, your perspective on everything is going to change. You will not be able to be an employee after you become a business owner. It is so difficult because you see what it is. You know what's going on. There really is... It's a different cast being a business owner. And a whole different lifestyle. And you can't go into it with a mindset as an employee because it's just not going to work. There's so much to learn, guys. And that's the reason why I want to do this. That's why I'm doing this channel. Even though nobody is watching this right now, someday, somebody's going to watch this, and it will help them, hopefully. Or it's just going to make me feel good. Anyways, that's it. I've said anyways and anywho and all that stuff more than enough. Really shooting from the hip on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Things are changing. Like I said, I've got this national event that's going on over this next week. I'm going to try and stream out there, but who knows? Yeah. Anyways, let's finish this up. Thanks for watching. I will hopefully be getting videos posted to Arrogant Industries and then also on Voice Media here in the near future. I just got to get paid. Anyways, yeah. All right. See you all around. Take care. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.